guys were nice enough to get a high-tech dinner and what have you, and we should be meeting in person and enjoying this, but we all know where we're at and what's going on with this COVID stuff. So we appreciate you converting that sponsorship into this time, because I think it's time well used, and appreciate everyone who has already filled out the survey and what have you. But I'm not going to eat into Wojo's time anymore. John from Belden, go ahead and take it over, and we'll go from there.
Okay, yeah, in just a moment, I'm going to share my screen. I just wanted to say thanks again to HT&G for allowing us to have this time. And then also, I appreciate anybody that's been able to fill out the survey in advance. It was interesting to see your responses to the questions that we asked. It actually confirmed in my mind that these enhancements we want to talk about today are going to be of use and value to you. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I have a few slides I'm going to go over, and then I'll stop and then ask for input. I see a lot of familiar faces on the screen. There are some people that some brands that are on today that are already participating in the Belden hospitality program. So certainly when we open up it for questions or comments, feel free to give your input. We're also going to use the chat feature here. So if I go through this fairly quickly, but you have questions, go ahead and put them down. We have one of the Belden folks looking through those as you input them. This is casual, but because of the time constraints, I'm going to kind of be a little business-like. I apologize in advance for that, just to get through the information. My main intent here is whatever it is that you hear, if you feel that it's going to be worthwhile or valuable for your brand, the key for us is to be able to connect again with you as individual brands, either through another Zoom call at some point in time, or hopefully in the future actually come and visit and talk through these things. So with that, let me share my screen. Can everybody see it?
Yep.
Yes.
So the first thing really to talk about is the fact that Belden does have a hospitality program. It is unique in the industry. It is a global program. And I mentioned the word global because Belden has plants and facilities, offices throughout the world. And so the key to our program is that each brand gets consistency no matter whether you're in Duluth, Minnesota or Dubai. And it's a program that because we've been entrenched in the industry for so long, we're able to help you with the other entities that help you build things. So we get involved when you want us, from design to door opening, from concept to completion. In that survey was a little video, a 2-minute video that kind of explained our program. But all I want to talk about at this point is just that our intent is to support architects, inform consultants, train contractors, to use our global reach to make sure that material logistics are handled properly, that the brand pricing that we put in place is done both here and anywhere else in the world, and that you have full technology support so that you actually get everything that you desire when it comes to infrastructure technology. Belden, it's been said by many, is the leader in infrastructure technology. We're the copper and fiber media that all the other systems in your properties run on. And what I want to share today primarily is 3 enhancements to this hospitality program that I think will help, particularly in this time where you're asked to do what you need to do with fewer people and fewer resources. And so it's my hope that when you hear what I have to say, it'll be a value to you. And the enhancements really fall into 3 areas. The first one is a brand service team that Belden has that will help you either update your brand standard documents, or if in fact you don't actually have your own brand standard document, we will produce one for you, obviously with the help of your team and your inputs. And as with all of the Belden parts of our program, it's free of charge. It's free of charge because this is what Belden has done for over 110 years. It's who we are, and this service is one that a number of brands have already taken us up on. And again, there's going to be a lot of detail here that we won't be able to cover, in its entirety. And so this is one of those things that if you're at all interested in our program to help you develop a brand standard, just make sure at the end that you let me know, and we'll contact you for doing that. But one of the other things that came up recently out of involvement with a number of the different brands that are on this call is it's one thing when it's an owned and operated property, your ability to control the things that you want to have done. But when you're working with your franchisees or third parties, sometimes let's just say it doesn't go the way you necessarily would like it to go. And Belden has the capability of helping you in this regard with the franchisees by creating some financial incentives, also extending some product rebates. I'm not going to be talking about the specifics of pricing or anything here. This is just a concept. These are things that we do already with the contractor world that actually puts our products into your facilities. And so if that's of interest, and by the way, both the brand standard and these incentive and rebates, based on the survey, there was an expression of interest in helping you in this regard. And so one of the ways that we've done this is in this concept, this last program enhancement, our portal. And I'm going to show you on this next slide a couple of screenshots of the portal and explain it a little bit. But basically, this is a part of Belden's $15 million digital transformation for our website, where we're now able to give each brand that wants it access into the Belden system, and it looks like these screenshots that you can see on the side. This is basically a place for you to store photos, as-built, test results. It's a repository for your own documents, your brand standard documents, your certifications, your warranty documents. It's an opportunity for you to find our trained installers anywhere in the world. You'll notice that there's a little map there where it says find an installer. As a part of this portal, you can go into there and see who Belden has anywhere. It could be it could be Portland, Oregon. It could be Orlando, Florida. It could be Paris, France. It could be Hong Kong. And you'll see who Belden has as an installer that's certified in that geography. All of this technology allows us to keep track of things that have to do with your project, whether it be the amount of money that's being sent, the certified test results that come in. And you can basically dream dreams with this portal. You can put into it whatever it is that you want, whatever it is you feel that you need, anything that you really feel or you deem as important. And so I went through these three enhancements fairly quickly because I kind of wanted to open it up for conversation as to any questions you might have, or as a way of elaborating on what you've heard so far. So I'm going to stop the share and go back to looking at everybody and welcome any kind of comments. Anybody that's on the call that's already participating with Belden in any of these that wants to add any information, please go ahead and do so.
This is Randy McFadden with MGM Resorts. How you doing, Mojo?
Hi, Randy.
Hey, we're using it. We love it. Just had a quick question for you. All that storage, is that diverse and redundant to where if you have a failure or something, all the data is not lost?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you, Mojo. Yeah, we love it. It's great. Thank you.
Monica, thanks for raising your hand. Do you have a comment or question?
Sure. John, thank you very much for the presentation. I just want to make sure that David Heckerman has been in touch with you regarding the program from our team.
As of this morning, I haven't heard from Dave, no.
Okay. All right. He will be. I'm trying to actually reach him on another channel, but thank you. I think this is absolutely phenomenal and a big opportunity to provide an end-to-end solution that we really need in our industry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mojo. Thank you for putting this together. So I do have a hard stop, so I thought let me get my 2 cents in. So first of all, for those that have worked with me, you realize I do speak my mind, and I can say I was very much of a skeptic when Mojo and David Wells approached us a few years ago about Belden, and I know he touched on a point about pricing. And I can honestly tell you that was one of the reasons we were afraid, because Belden was known as the Rolls Royce in the industry. But I can say 5 years later now, I even have my local cable contractors to say, I'm not so sure how you did it or what you did it, but we've even jumped on the Belden train right now, and we're pushing Belden as opposed to the other cheaper brands. And through that, at the end of the day, we got what we got it, Belden got what we got it, and even some of our local contractors got what we got it. So we've standardized on Belden across the Hard Rock Seminole Gaming enterprise. Now, back to the program that you've been presenting over here, and I filled out the survey, and, each to their own, but one of the areas you had was about rebates and stuff. And I, for one, I stay away from rebates for the following rebates. Rebates, sometimes has a synonymous word called kickbacks, and I'm trying to stay away from kickbacks. That's number one. Number two, in my busy line, I don't have time to worry about, hey, if I do this, I get a reduced day 2, day 3. I just want a straight up one-time cost. Here's my cost. Here's what I'm looking for. You have one shot at giving me the lowest price, put your best foot forward. So at least for me, for us, I prefer to stay away from the rebates, get the discounts up, because to follow up afterwards, that means more administration, keeping track of how much rebates I get. I'd rather work with a set budget, get the money up front, and then move forward. So that would be my only comment. Love the portal, love the ability to store pictures and all of that. But again, each to their own. So.
Thank you, Daz. The rebate, and just to help clarify, the rebate would be in product credits. And the thought that we had for those that would be interested in it is it would help after opening. There's always times when you're going to add a venue, or you're going to move something, somebody missed a particular aspect of technology. You got to run another 1,000 feet of cable somewhere. You've got to, you need patch cords, fiber or copper patch cords, maybe even some racks. And so this would allow brands to have a repository of some product rebates that they could go to distribution or to their contractors and get that kind of operational expense taken care of after opening.
This is Dave. Just to remind everybody, we do need to stay away from pricing discussions and rebates in this venue. But Kareem Jabal, thanks for raising your hand. Do you have a comment or question?
Yeah, thanks for the recognition. Good morning. Woj, great job with the presentation as always. I think you guys have a fantastic product and portal. You work with some really talented groups. Obviously, MGM and Mandarin are pretty big. They have great talent. They know what they're doing. How do you get engaged with smaller clients that may not have a fully staffed IT department when it comes to engaging in the spec writing or the standards writing for Division 27 and 28? Is there a process that people have to go through to contact you about getting that type of support for smaller staffed entities or developers?
Yeah, good question. Thank you. No, yes, all they have to do is let us know. That's one of the features of this brand standard team that we have that is capable of helping anybody develop their technology standard, the standard that they can give to consultants who then can pass on to contractors to ensure that what it is they want for infrastructure in their buildings, they actually get. And it's as simple as that. It's informing Belden that they want some help in that regard, and then our technology team will support them in it. There was one other set of interest that I had mentioned in the survey, and I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, and it had to do with some things that perhaps folks didn't know about Belden. And that is what I'm calling our intelligent products. The Belden family is very large, and not everybody knows that we have certain kinds of switches and cybersecurity software. And I'm going to just show are you all seeing this this next slide?
No, I think we're seeing the wrong screen. Rojo. Maybe you should. Do you have more than one monitor up?
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the wrong monitor probably.
Okay, let me. Sorry. This should be it.
It's okay. What you were showing us, John, was pretty interesting. So.
Yeah, we got it now.
Not sure what that was. But all right, can you see this now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. This is another one of those, please contact us so I can get a subject matter expert to talk to you and your teams about both our active components and our software companies. Hirschman manufactures industrial grade switches for critical applications. This is basically coming from the OT world into the IT world. And as we know, there's a lot of convergence going on with PoE and IoT right now. And these are actually products that we're specifying into brand opportunities where you need a special switch outside, like for parking lots, parking garages, pool areas. These are switches that are made for critical use placement. We're not a switch company that's going to compete currently in the enterprise space with Cisco and Juniper and people of that nature. But for those difficult problem areas that you have, Belden has a wide variety. And you can go to the Hirschman or the Belden website and see that. And then secondly is the cybersecurity and compliance software. I'm not sure that many of you know Belden owns Tripwire, and some of you may have used Tripwire in the past, but this is primarily a software for compliance and vulnerability assessments and detection. Before I go to the last slide, I'm going to again ask, are there any questions or comments regarding our active components or our compliance software companies. Any interest, I guess.
Well, Joe, Steve Fisher has a question.
Yeah, Steve.
Hi, thank you. This is Stephen Fisher with PSX Audiovisual Technologies. We're an integrator. And really, Wojo, the timing was a little bit off there. My comment was really more about Belden and the true partnership that you guys provide. I've been on the design and consulting side of the business for a couple of decades and on the integration side as well. And really, this is just a general comment. I wanted to thank you guys for including us in this presentation. The portal and the product is incredibly valuable to us from an integration perspective, but most importantly, I wanted to acknowledge the partnership that we have with Belden and how much we appreciate it, not only with you, Wojo, but with David Wells as well. A lot of companies out there preach partnership and relationship, but I find that you're one of the few that actually act upon it and fulfill and back up what you say. So that was really just a general comment, and a thank you for being included in the meeting.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. I'm gonna just finish with this slide, and then again, just any final comments. We've got about 8 minutes left, it looks like. When I mentioned that we're a global company, I've come to understand as I've traveled around to the HT&G events around the globe the last few years, how important it is for brands to be able to have consistency in what it is they're doing, whether they're in China or the Middle East, Europe, Australia, even Canada and Mexico. And one of the things that we're investing heavily in is these customer innovation centers. As you can see from the map, we have 5 of them on the drawing board. 2 of them are up and operating. We will have the other 3 operating throughout 2021. And basically, they're not sales offices. They're research technology centers doing proof of concept work. They have working labs in them. They're places for development, training, and support. Belden has always felt it's important to invest in technology development as it pertains to what's coming next and what the future looks like. These are places that you can send your teams to. They can do training. They can ask questions. They can say, we can test products against, the story that's been told about them for you. We can help you with project management in these areas. These are free of charge places for our partners to have access to all over the world, where it'll be the same type of facility in Shanghai as it is in Silicon Valley. It's going to be the place where you'll be able to go and understand what does digital electricity have to do with a hotel or a theme park. What will the future look like? How will my TVs be powered and operate in the near future? These are all the kinds of things that we'll be doing in these technology centers. And we want to let you know that you're at any point in time, you're interested, you're more than willing to visit one of these facilities when they're fully up and operating. But the model of it was our Indianapolis location, and the Germany operation is up and moving as we speak. And so we will soon have the other 3 in 2021. So with that, that's really the last of my slides. I would really like to encourage additional contact with anybody that has heard something that is of interest to you. We're involved in almost every one of the brands in some degree or another, but we'd really like to get to know you all a lot better. My information is on the screen there. You can contact me at any time. I have a team of technology folks, as well as sales and marketing representatives around the globe that can interface with your teams if you have them deployed in that way. So with that, the wording on the bottom is what we really, networking solutions for global consistency. I know that's something that everybody likes to make sure that they have. And I just appreciate HT&G, Mike, David, letting us have the time to share. And I'll, 4 minutes if anybody would like to ask any more questions or comment. If there's anything else in the chat box, great. Anything surprise you or not?
Hey, Jason with Hirsch Hospitality. I'll just add, this is a great program. I wasn't familiar with how far you've got into hospitality. Love Belden products, but we'll definitely be in contact. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
And Wojo, it goes without saying, once again, I truly appreciate Belden and their sponsorship throughout the years with HT&G. Certainly do appreciate our relationship. I've known you even before my world with being the leader of HT&G, and you've always dealt fairly and consistently, and we appreciate that. And I got to tell you, we truly appreciate Belden taking the time today to express the program that you've got and where you're headed and what you're doing, and hope you have continued success. Season's greetings and all that good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. And just again, anybody want to know more, please use this information and I'd be happy to get with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to ask all the HT&G board members and executive advisors to stay on, and we'll get started in a minute with our board meeting.
Right, and you're going to kill the recording, right, Dave?
I am.
Okay.
Thank you for the reminder.